Dissolvable frac plugs.
Yes.
I've seen this come up a few different times, and as soon as I said, "Hey, this sounds interesting," you're like, "Let's talk about this because it's a little controversial." Could we dig into that a little bit more, and why that's the case?
Yeah, the oil field's full of personalities, right? And tons of people who are willing to share their opinions and their experiences, right? And so nothing kind of you can't ever paint the entire industry with a broad brush. But dissolvable frac plugs is one of those things that people either love them or they hate them. It seems. And so the theory behind a dissolvable frac plug is that when you're going down and you're perfing your stages during your completions, you put a dissolvable frac plug in there, and then over time with either water salinity levels and temperature, that frac plug will dissolve over time. And so what that does is it saves you one of the more expensive and time consuming things on a completions operation is having to go down and drill out the frac plugs so that you can have access to your entire wellbore. So the thought on the dissolvable frac plugs is that they just dissolve, fall apart, and then you flow them back with your oil and gas that's coming out of the well. One of the challenges or one of the issues is if they don't dissolve, it's really, really difficult to know if it has or not. So we talked about tracers a little bit last week. A lot of times you're putting tracers in different stages, and then all of a sudden, say past stage 15, you're not getting any of your tracer back. You start to wonder, well, okay, I ran dissolvables. I didn't do clean out. I didn't drill out. So is there a dissolvable frac plug that didn't dissolve, and you end up having to pick up like stick pipe or coil and go in and clean out anyway? And so it's really one of those things that a lot of people really don't like them. And I think if they worked 100% of the time, that I'll bet you everybody would do them. But even a 2 or 3% failure rate on a 40 stage well means that one or two of those frac plugs didn't dissolve, and if it's towards the heel of your well or wherever, it's choking back your production. It's keeping you from accessing your entire lateral, and so it's one of those things that a lot of people have just kind of gone away from because of just their experience with it being
Yeah.
somewhat unreliable.